Hello friends, welcome to the 50th day of our 100-day challenge. So we are halfway in our 100-day challenges. We have traveled the halfway and covered almost 50% of our syllabus: modern Indian history, polity, geography, art and culture, and then current affairs up to the month of December 2017. So you can download all the challenges, listen to the explanations, and today we have picked up the topics from December month and November month of 2017. So these topics are Competition Commission of India, Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat Initiative, and then World Toilet Day, She Box Initiative against the sexual harassment of women at workplace, and Sangai Festival of Manipur, National Skill Development Corporation, and International Rice Research Institution in Philippines, National Green Tribunal, its provisions, and the legislative provisions related to the NGT. Then G4 nations and their plea for joining the Security Council of United Nations. Then startups, then terminologies associated with the entrepreneurship and startups. So you can refer to the Hindu and Indian Express of December and November month. We'll start with the challenge. In context of startups, which of the following statements are correct? An incubator is that individual who invests his or her own funds in the startup. Actually, the angel investor is the one who invests the own funds in the startups. The venture capitalist provides non-financial commitments like training and management. Training and managements are and office spaces are provided by incubators, not the venture capitalists. So second option is also incorrect. Angel investors are the companies. These are the individuals, not companies. Companies that use the other people's money to fund their startup. This is absolutely wrong. So all the options are wrong. They have been mingled in each other. So option has to be none of the above. A business incubator is a company that helps new and startup companies to develop by providing services such as management training, and so the incubators are those who provide management training and office spaces. Then venture capitalist is the investor who either provides capital to startup or supports small companies that wishes to expand but do not have access to equities in markets. And business in angel investors are those individuals. So angel investors are individuals, often successful businessmen, who are investing in other personal funds, who their own personal funds in the potentially rewarding business startups. Whereas venture capital is invested by the firms, and venture capital is more professionally invested money of the companies, while the angel investors are those rich people who invest their money in the prospective startups. Question number 2. In context of G4 nations, which of the following is correct? So these are the group of nations including India which are demanding their inclusion in the Security Council of United Nations. So let's read the options. They are the permanent members of United Nations Security Council. This is incorrect. G4 includes a European country. This is correct. Germany is among that. And they are also known as UFC. What is that? United for Consensus. This is incorrect because Uniting for Consensus are those countries who are opposing the G4 nations plea for joining the United Nations Security Council. Those Uniting for Consensus include countries like South Korea and Pakistan, and they want a consensus and a particular proper procedure by which a nation can join the Security Council. So they are opposing the move of these G4 nations: Japan, India, Germany, and Brazil. So G4 nations comprise Brazil, Germany, India, Japan, and they support each other's bid for permanent seat on United Nations Security Council. They recently demanded an early reform and enhanced role for development and method working at UNSC and the Council. On the other hand, Uniting for the Consensus, or the Coffee Club, that is also known as Coffee Club, is the movement to counter the G4 nations. It demands the consensus must be reached before on the form and the size of Security Council before expanding. So these countries, the Coffee Club, includes Pakistan, South Korea, Canada, Argentina, and some other countries. So these are opposing the G4 nations. G4 nation includes India, Brazil, Japan, and Germany. Question number 3. Consider following about National Green Tribunal. National Green Tribunal Act was passed in year 2010, not 2002. The tribunal works under the procedure laid down under the Code of Civil Procedures. No, this is incorrect. The National Green Tribunal works on the principle of natural justice, not the civil or criminal procedures. So second option is also incorrect. First option is incorrect because it was passed in 2010. National Green Tribunal established under the National Green Tribunal Act 2010, effective, expeditious disposal of environmental protection, conservation, forest, natural resources. Tribunal is not bound by procedures laid down under the civil procedures, so but guided by the principle of natural justice. So, tribunal dedicated jurisdiction in environment matters shall provide speedy environmental justice and help reduce the burden of litigations in a higher courts. So, one of the purpose of National Green Tribunal is to take up the issues which are related to the environmental justice and also to ease the burdens on the higher courts, the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Tribunal is mandated to make an endeavor for disposal and application of appeals finally within the 6 months of filling of the same. So, speedy disposal is going to take off the burden from the judiciary. Consider the following statements about the International Rice Research Institution located in Philippines. So it is located in Hyderabad. This is incorrect, and it will develop the rice varieties other than those in the Green Revolution of 1960s. No, it will develop these varieties further, and it will study and promote these varieties of high yielding crops, which were used in Green Revolution of 1960s. So second option is also incorrect. First option is incorrect. Answer has to be D, none of the above. A rice field laboratory named after Prime Minister Modi was recently inaugurated by Prime Minister himself in Los Banos, Philippines. So it is located in Los Banos, Philippines. The International Rice Research Institution IRRI is an international agricultural research and training organization known for its work in developing rice varieties that contribute to the Green Revolution in the 1960s. IRRI has successfully collaborated with Indian Council for Agricultural Research ICAR to introduce drought tolerant, flood tolerant and salt tolerant varieties of rice in India. Question number 5. Which of the following is are true about the National Skill Development Corporation? So this is a non-profit company registered uh, with major share with holdings with private sector. So let's read the options. It is a non-profit company. This is true. Skill Development Corporation. Its major shares are with Union government. This is incorrect because government is holding only 49%, while 51% is with private sector. So equity. So the National Skill Development Corporation is one of its kind public PPP model in India under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. A non-for-profit company set up by the Ministry of Finance under Section 25 of the Companies Act. It has an equity base of rupees 10 crores, of which the government of India holds only 49%, while the private sector has the balance of 51%. It aims to promote the skill development by catalyzing creation of large quality and for-profit vocational institutions. So this was one important MCQ regarding the National Skill Development Corporation. So it has major share with the private sector, not the government. It is a non-for-profit company. Question number 6. Sangai Festival. Sangai Deers is celebrated in the name of Bro antlered deer found in which state? So Bro antlered deer are only found in the state of Manipur, and they are the state animal of Manipur. And this festival is celebrated for in context of that animal as well. So the festival named after the state animal Sangai, the bro antler deer. So what happens is these antlered they they rise up from the forehead. So they appear that they have originated from the brows of this eyebrows of this deer. So the festival is named after the state animal Sangai, Bro antler deer only found in Manipur. Started in 2010, this festival has grown over the years into the big platform for Manipur to showcase tradition and culture to the world. Sangai is a medium deer with uniquely distinctive antlers and extremely long brow tine, which form the main beam. The forward protruding beams appear to come from the eyebrows. This is important from the context of environment and ecology as well. Which of the following is are true about the She Box initiative of government? Recently, the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare launched this She Box initiative, in which the women employees can lodge an online complaint of sexual harassment. So, sexual harassment of women at workplace, protection of women was bill was passed in 2013. Let's read the options. It is launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. This is correct. It relates to the nutrition of adolescent girls. This is incorrect because it relates to the online portal for the complaining of any sexual harassment faced by any women employee in both public and in both government or private sector. So, to ensure the effective implementation of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013, the government has launched a comprehensive She Box initiative. It is an online complaint management system for women working in both public and private organizations to lodge a complaint of sexual harassment at workplace. Very important initiative. See She Box initiative. You can mention it in your mains also in the essays of gender equality and women empowerment. This portal in which women employees can lodge online complaints. Consider the following statements. Sanitation is specifically mentioned in Sustainable Development Goals. Yes, sustainable use of water and sanitation are the goals and Sustainable Development Goals under goal number 6. And World Toilet Day on November 19th was conceptualized by Indian government. This is incorrect. It is conceptualized by um, this in 2013 United Nations General Assembly officially designated. So United UNGA, it was designated by United Nations General Assembly, not the Indian government. So 19th November is dedicated as World Toilet Day. What happens is World Toilet Day is coordinated by United Nations Water in collaboration with the governments and partners around the world. So World Toilet Day is about inspiring actions to tackle the global sanitation crisis, especially true in the context of India where the hygiene is being compromised most of the times. So we should focus on this and we should celebrate November 19th as World Toilet Day and keep our localities, our hygiene, our sanitation clean places. By 2030, the Sustainable Development Goal, specifically goal number 6, aims to reach everyone with sanitation, halve the proportion of untreated wastewater, and increase recycling of safe uses. So these are kind of objectives. They are somewhat very different from Millennium Development Goal, but everywhere the sustainability is mentioned. So goal number 6 is clean water and sanitation. So sanitation is clearly mentioned here. Ensure availability of sustainable management of availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Goal number 6. Goal number 5 relates to gender equality. We have already taken up in the MCQ regarding goal number 5, women empowerment and gender equality. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat initiative was announced by Prime Minister on 31st October. So 31st October is the birth anniversary of which of the following freedom fighter? Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel, Ambedkar. So Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat is basically for connecting different states and sharing the cultural marvel of one state with the another state. So it is kind of for the unification of the nation. So by the logic, if we go by logic, this Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat initiative has to do something with the unification of the country, and one towering personality related to that was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So option has to be B only. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat was announced by Prime Minister. October 31st October is the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Subsequently, Finance Minister announced the initiative in budget. Through this initiative, measures, knowledge and cultural traditions, practices of different states and UTs will lead to the enhanced understanding and bonding between states, thereby strengthening the unity and integrity of India. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, 31st October 2005. 15. Right. Question number 10. Which of the following is true about the Competition Commission of India? So the Competition Commission of India was established to stop the malpractices by different companies and to check such practices and take up such cases where the competition has been compromised and monopoly some has been practiced by some of the companies. So this Competition Commission of India, what it does is it tries to maintain healthy competition among the different companies in the market. So let's read the options. Commission tries to eliminate the adverse effects of competition in the market. No, it tries to eliminate the effects of monopoly, not the competition, because competition is, in this sense, competition is referred in economic sense. Competition is referred as equal opportunity for different firms, different firms with their different products. So this is the aim of Competition Commission of India. So to maintain healthy competition. So first option is incorrect. And second option is Competition Commission of India is a constitutional body. This is obviously incorrect. It is a legislative body. It was enacted through an act. into Act of 2002, the Competition Act 2002. So both the options are incorrect. Let's read the explanation. Competition Commission of India is a body responsible for enforcing the Competition Act 2002 throughout the India to prevent activities that have the adverse effect of competition in India, that have an adverse effect on the competition. So competition has to be there, healthy competition. Competition is to be there, shall be there. It is a good thing for the companies and for the market economy like India. It was established in October 2003 and became fully functional in 2009. So what happens is this competition commission is aims to eliminate the practices having adverse effect of competition, promote the sustainable competition, promote and sustain competition, protect the interest of consumers, and ensure freedom of trade in the market. This is very important, to ensure the freedom of trade in the markets. The competition in market, what is this definition of competitive market? Is the one which is a large, where a large number of producers compete with each other to satisfy the wants and needs of a large number of consumers. So that is called as competitive market, not the monopolistic. In the competitive market, no single producer or group of producers or no single consumer or group of consumer can dictate how the market operates. So there is no dictatorship of either consumer or the producer. So that is known as competitive market. So Competition Commission of India tries to promote a competitive market. So friends, this concludes the 10 MCQs for the day 50th of our 100 day challenge. Stay tuned for the upcoming challenges. Have a nice day. Thank you.